Okay. But I really, really, really like that shirt. You're gonna have to tell me a little bit more about it.
Yeah, Dove Academy. That's our friends there. That during the COVID period and during well, you couldn't get into a gym. Normally, I could get in a gym with Luka in the evenings and work out, but we couldn't do it. So I searched and friends in the community, that I met literally on Twitter that were Detroit Piston diehard fans. Besides knowing every lyric of Eminem and any other kind of artist. Anyway, they hooked me up because a cousin of a friend of this was working there. So we got over to Dove Academy, got to use their gym, and we're able to go in there and work out when we couldn't get into the facility because I wasn't cleared and the COVID protocols just prevented. Of course, I was living with Luka at the time, staying with him, so I was totally careful. But they were so sweet, so loving, and one of the things, Brandon, we've talked about is Luka's reading program. So we wanted to start it there. And so he picked it, we all picked a day. He spent some time there in the afternoon and lovely people. In fact, he just finished a video for them for their tests that were just last week. The testing for the students. And so he sent words of encouragement. It's like our first love, Brandon. I mean, if I was to say what's Detroit's our first love, just like Dove Academy, it's like our first love because these people embraced us. And in fact, I'll tell you this: the folks that led us into the gym. I hope I'm not getting them into trouble or anything. But anyway, the folks that this is all.
I appreciate you so much, Frank.
Yeah, but the folks that led us in, they actually stayed there. And she was great. She was crocheting, which my grandmother used to do as well. So I knew exactly what she was doing. And she sat there and watched. It was just so pleasant. And man, that's just like, we don't know them. And they were just so sweet. So that's
really cool.
That's
really cool. That's awesome. And you know what? See, I'm going to ask you a little bit more about Dove Academy a little bit later.
Okay.
But I have to do something. It's tradition. Every time we start rolling, whether it's recording or live, I got to do this. And we are recording. See, look, you guys are going to see this a little bit later. It was the best way to kind of make this happen. And so I'm grateful for Frank's time. I'm very, very grateful for it. But what up, though, people? Welcome to Woodward Pistons. This is your boy, Brandon Dent, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid. And this is really like a special series or program that we're trying to bring. And it's going to be more guests down the road and even bigger panels. I'm hoping I can get Frank back to talk with our Table Talk crew as well at a later time. I don't even mean to put you on the spot, Frank. But I want to get into it. This is a series I want to highlight different people who have made impacts, left impacts, or the city has made an impact on them, or all of the above. And honestly, the Garza family, they fit that bill. I've kind of had a bird's eye view, or really like a ground level view of it at times as well. Frank was somebody that was around when I was just starting off my coverage on the beat with the Motor City Cruise. And, Luka Garza was just drafted into the organization. And I didn't, I had no idea what was going to go on. I heard you talking about the COVID restrictions earlier, and that's my first season. It kind of with the Pistons, I had to do things on Zoom. With the Motor City Cruise, we had a little bit more, latitude, and I was grateful for that time. And during that time is where, you and I got really a couple different run-ins that just lasted with me, man, for a long time. I was grateful you took the time to really talk with us. You took the time to give us tips and pointers. And honestly, the coolest thing, I remember one of the Motor City Cruise games, we were just sitting down. You're like, hey, let's just go sit down and watch the game. And it was just the game. Like, you were talking ball. It wasn't like, hey, let's talk article. Hey, what do you think? It was just, hey, man, yo, you see that cut? Oh, my goodness. You see that pick and roll? And it was just like, yo, I loved it.
Look at Sable.
I loved it. I loved it, Frank. And so, but you from the early on, it's like you made a connection with the fans. You connected with us as if you were one of us. And I thought, like, where's this coming from? And I realized, when I kind of dug into some of your history, this is just who you are as a person. This is just who you are as a person. I saw, at Iowa, definitely those fans have not just embraced you, but you're almost like an unofficial mascot of sorts. just because of the way. Now, I was looking at articles, I was looking at old tweets, I was looking at social media, and all of them, it revolved around the type of people that you and your family are showing yourselves to be. And I can honestly say, I can personally say that I've witnessed that as well. With nothing to gain, all you've ever been is somebody that's tried to help people like myself. I know that Sean Murphy from Half Court has the same, the same testimony that I do as well. And it's been awesome because you guys have your own journey as well that you're on. And I want to get into that too. But you got to talk to me about this. What is it about you and the fans?
Well, I think it started like in Iowa, where I think there's just a recognition of the relationship Luka and I have, and the fact that besides just being dad, I'm also know a little bit about hoops, and I've been a benefactor of great coaches, and so I think they've seen that journey and what we've done together, and I think it just endeared us to each other. And then once he got drafted in Detroit, which I was so excited about because of the whole Big Ten history and being there, and Michigan rims being so nice to Luka. Sorry, guys, a little punch there. No,
man, I'm a Go Blue guy as well.
He's got the record there for the most. No, I don't want to go into all that, but no, I was excited. But I saw initially some folks were like, "Oh, who is this guy? This is maybe a bad choice." And I just wanted to reach out there honestly and authentically and just say, "Hey, guys, give it a second here now. This guy is all about Detroit. He's hardworking. He bleeds. He gets stitches during a game, and you can't for it. Otherwise, you can't go back into games like 13 stitches and just come back out there and bleed for the city." And that's who he is. So I think when that started, it ignited this relationship, which I still have strong ties, as just with. It's our first love. I mean. Dream come true in Detroit.
Yeah, and you know what? I was going to actually talk about that too, because you were sharing a lot of the behind the scenes. You were sharing a lot of the hard work. You were sharing a lot of the journey. You were sharing a lot of the pep talks. You were really giving us kind of a way in, not just sitting on the sidelines either, having us sit on the sidelines, but actually responding, actually retweeting people's things, sharing all of the content creator stuff. I know there's other content creators out there like Everything King, Pistons Thoughts. There's so many of them out there. You've shared, the Woodward Sports stuff with Jeff Freddy and everything. Like it's been awesome to see. But it's been really, really cool to kind of have this connection. And aside from the father-son connection that's there, Luka said that you are more like, this is my coach and this is my best friend. And that's what I got out of those things. Look, I'm a dad. I still consider myself a young dad.
Yeah.
My son, I told him, you're not getting me yet. I keep that thing on me, Frank. I got it. I got it all the time, man. Love it, baby. But I appreciated kind of seeing that. But can you tell the people what really went on, what went behind kind of all of that work, this journey? Because I wanted to talk to you as well about your basketball history as well, playing at Idaho Vandals, and seeing Luka kind of push his career even just a little bit further, and knowing the work that you all put in to get there. Can you speak about that a little bit?
Yeah, it's a great question. Insightful. Well, it was like, thank God he was drawn toward basketball, not ping pong, right? Because I'd have to coach. A cross or something, I wouldn't have no idea what to do. But basketball, saved my life, personally, and what I learned through basketball, because I had many fathers. Most were my basketball coaches, because of closeness of bringing the best of you out, not comparing. Hey, be better than this guy. No, be the best you're capable of becoming. That's like, what does that mean? Well, you got the pen in your hand, so you're defining, what that future looks like. So with the big fellow, with Luka, it was about, okay, hey, where do we want to go with this? And let's plot out the most efficacious way to get there. Now, listen, there's parents out there doing that all the time. with their kids' college career, with their this and that. It's more visible in the basketball because Luka, let's just face it, when it comes to physicality, he's probably the worst athlete out there. So the fact that he got to where he got came from just sheer ass work and practice and more of it. And I think people are drawn to that, Brandon. I think it inspires folks to say, hey, it's not where you end up. It's the journey getting there and being the best you're capable of what you decide to do.
Yeah, that was the interesting thing, is that there are a lot of questions that were facing Luka. And those questions were things that he just kind of ran through. Seeing all of the workouts, you could tell, okay, despite anything that people may say about your measurables or about your ability to jump, your ability to run, your ability to be faster than the next guy,
Yeah,
Luka proved working hard is a skill set that is necessary and needed in the NBA. I appreciated his time here. Me personally, I'm one of those guys who's like, you know what? Hopefully he gets another shot here one day. I love that. Like you said, man, look. I love the heart. I love the hustle. I love the type of people that you guys have shown yourselves to be. I like the fact that he is stuck around. You look at some of these other people sometimes who kind of leave, or they kind of find themselves in similar situations. So you're drafted, but now all of a sudden you have to survive.
Yeah.
Well, covering the Pistons this year, I'm seeing Luka walk past me with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the fans were ecstatic, man. Like the whole game, like he was on the bench, oh, Luka, Luka, Luka. And it's like I said again, it goes back to who you all have been as people. And that's what I wanted to highlight on this, that despite where you go and where you have been, it's not just the people have recognized and appreciated what you all brought here and what Luka tried to represent and did represent, but also what you all have continued to do. And I wanted to ask, how has the city, how has it impacted you in such a way that you guys have still remained active here? You have still remained, with this pull or this attraction here. You've still, supported all of our content creators and hoping for our sports teams as well. What type of impact did the city make on you and Luka?
Well, it was, again, it was like we are, we're in Arlington, all getting together. We get drafted, and the next day we're on a plane. Right?
Yeah.
And go right, boom, right? And
this is instant.
Yeah, instant. And now we're in Detroit, and so from the moment we got there, and it's all the folks you don't hear about. It's not all the executives, officials, it's all the people you meet just coming off the plane. People say, hey, welcome. And just like that, when you think of Detroit, it's not your first impression going, man, these people just got this thing. But I knew better just because traveling the Big Ten and people knowing the sport and the fans love their teams, man. They just love their teams. And some of the best fans, when I would show, because I didn't miss many a game ever in Luka's career, but in college, people, how creative the students are. They would have some creative. The one I loved the most was underrated. They would always say to Luka, underrated. And they'd have this cue card for people to be able to say. But it was clean and it was fun. It was intelligent. So I just fell in love with that and shared.
I like that word, intelligent.
Intelligent humor. It was intelligent humor. And so that just hit me. But when you come,
I like it.
This is his first job, right? He's coming in there. And listen, a lot, when you talk about NBA versus college, I mean, I can see why people can look, NBA stars can look at college and kind of go, next, that's why I mean, even the Big Ten, look, you may get only 2-3 make it to the NBA.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, these guys so talented, so good. So we're coming in, he's coming in there raw, and there's Cade, and we know, thank God for Livers, right? Because of Michigan and Luka knowing him, Isaiah and everything. So anyway, we have friends and everything. But my point is, it just imprinted on us from the moment we got there till we're moving into the boulevard down there or hanging out at Stella's for coffee and having a great talk, and it would just blew us away. So that's why it's always there. You're never going to take that away. And we're not going away there. In fact, I loved the fact there was so much real estate available for doing some unique things for the community. We're still very much interested in that. And
yeah, look, my ears are perked up. You're gonna have to keep me consistently updated on that. I love that type of stuff.
So much opportunity there, and I believe in the city. In fact, Pistons were, you know, hey, listen, I don't care what people say. I mean, I love Isaiah Thomas. You know, I don't know him personally as a player.
Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about when he's at he did there, what he endured, how he won that game, and then what he did.
About to make me blow these up and use them, man.
Yeah, right. So Luka saw those films. He saw the repeat. He saw that. He saw how hustle hard and work hard and this and that. And there was his, you know, it's real. Luka played in the Black and Blue League, you know, the Big Ten. So we're all about not backing down. And so it had a history to us before we even arrived. And that was those VHS tapes and watching. I would just tell Luka, watch this competitor go. And I was talking about Isaiah Thomas. Watch what he's going to do now. And the same thing I did with Michael and watching his films too. But it started with the Pistons.
Man, that's awesome to hear because, you know, from our perspective sometimes, especially with college, we don't think of your perspective coming here. Like your love, your admiration for this area didn't just start with the draft. Your love and admiration and your understanding of this area started many years before through the college experience.
Yeah.
You know, so it's cool to hear you kind of talk about it, mention certain cities here, you know, the Ann Arbors, the East Lansing, some of the surrounding suburbs and such, and really talk about the places that matter to you here. Yeah, that's really, really cool. Are there any special places, eateries or dessert spots or just places that you go when you come into town?
Well, I mean, I'm somewhat of an omnivore, so I mean, I eat anything, but you know, I had his favorites, you know, but pretty much I'll tell you where we camped out was in the gym. I mean, pretty much our time was the Boulevard, the juicer right downstairs. We fill up there and then go right to the facility. And the chefs there were incredible. Right. And because of Cade, who's a vegetarian, and I am as well, there was like, they cooked stuff that was incredible. I hadn't had before. In fact, I've incorporated it into my diet here. So, but I tell you, just
man,
Fisher Building myself. But Luka, you know, many times in the mall and hanging out, and of course the Pistons did a lot of outreach stuff, so he would go out and do a lot of that. But it's mostly those folks came up and introduced themselves just like we did. You know, just were authentic and kept it real. And of course, you know, when Luka is captain of the All-Star team in Salt Lake for the G League, you know, the first two picks he picked were former Pistons. And that's because of not only knowing they're great players, just because he met them and they're friends for life. But that all happened right there. And keep in mind, when I think about Detroit, hard working, get up every day, do what others aren't willing to do. That's who Luka is. Bleed. I mean, you know, and listen, Luka's the slowest going on a 40-yard dash. But listen, how many athletes run 100% of the time, all the time? And that's the difference. Luka does. So his lowest rate is still higher than the highest rate because that guy's not running. Yep. He's sitting there whining to the ref about he got fouled, or he's whining because he missed his shot, or something's going on, but it's not making the next play. And so those things about the game, which are beautiful, allowed him to have a voice in the chorus of the NBA.
Are you teaching the game still? Because I'm just sitting here like as a former basketball player and as somebody who I've run like some camps and things like that, and I'm thinking about getting into more. I'm sitting here like, Frank, like your philosophies, like your mentalities, even the players you talked about, like, oh no. Luka watched Zeke. He watched him. Yeah. Like, I'm just sitting here like, I hope there's some Frank Garza Basketball Academy somewhere.
Yeah, well, we started Luka Garza Academy last summer, and listen, all through Luka's career, it's been devoted to his development. And we're now going to open that up to a bigs. So I'm going to teach the same stuff I taught Luka, and his record says enough. How could the guy that's not the best athlete be the best player in the Big Ten 2 years in a row and in the country? Well, comes down to all the intangibles, the things you recognized. And then, hey, listen, all during AAU, I was sitting there watching, and I could just see a huge void, Brandon, and that was they have eliminated the bigs. This is a guard game. Just rebound and block a shot. I said, okay, timeout. I'm going to change that with Luka. And we did in the Big Ten, period. Yeah. Luka, look at Eddie now, Edie from Purdue. Not that I want to take credit for changing that, but we brought the big back. We brought the capital B in big because Luka went out there with footwork, fundamentals, our Sigma moves, our hooks, or this and that, and
he just doesn't stop.
Yeah, brought the force back to having it not have the bigs eliminated in the 5-man game, of men's basketball, women's basketball for the women too. But I'm just saying, stop eliminating the 4 and the 5. We can shoot. We are big. We run 94 feet, so shot selection means a lot to us. Guards are only running top of the key, We're running 94 feet, and we're, so listen, we're gonna get the ball in. We're gonna go in. Because when you go inside out, 73% more when you go inside and you pass it back out, 73% more of those shots go in than if you just dribble down and throw it up.
Yep. And I was looking down here at my notes, and you mentioned something that I wanted to get to as well. The G League Next Up game, right? Yeah. That was it was a new addition actually to the All-Star Weekend this year. So it had even a bigger audience, a bigger presence, and it was going to be something that with this new format, having the captains pick teams, more people are going to have eyes on it. And you talked about something that Luka Garza did to not just pay homage, but to reconnect with his Detroit NBA roots.
Yes.
And he selected his first 2 picks, his former teammate, Saban Lee, and Frank Jackson.
Yeah.
And you were talking a little bit about that. What did it mean for him to be able to reconnect with them? The different stories that they're able to share. And things of that nature, and for him to be able to kind of bestow that honor on those guys, share that moment with them like that.
Yeah, no, well, Luka knows the game inside and out. So when it came down to get to pick his own team, it's over. Okay, we'll throw the ball up and run down for 4 quarters, but the game's over. Just because he knows every stat, and you test him, just ask him, and he also knows about baseball and football, but he inhales it and exhales it in basketball. So. When he's looking at that, and again, the friendships, built there with the Pistons and working through that. And, listen, when you're losing a lot, you're not winning, which Luka wasn't accustomed to. His college career, his high school career, he didn't lose much. And it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
But there's 82 games. So it's like, okay, what are we going to just be in the fetal position forever because you got so many games? No. So it was Saban, it was Frank's leadership, Rodney's, Kelly Olnick's, Stewart. I love Zay. I mean, God, what a man. Anyway, I'm telling you, these guys are lasting relationship. In fact, Zay was the first guy when we got let go to communicate to Luka. That's just how much of an impression and that relationship between men he forged, because Luka don't back down to nothing, and Zay ain't backing down to nothing, and they've got into it several times, and that's called respect. So when you're talking about a team, well, dang right, I'm going to have Sabo on my team because that guy never quits. You talking about a killer, just a guy as a competitor, a supreme A+. His family's great too. I love his mom and dad. They sat right next to us during the game, so it was all fun. And then Frank Jackson, who, my God, he should be on the top of GQ or something, man. Have you seen his hairdo, man?
He has the style. He has the hair, man.
What up? And I'm like, gee, man, Christmas, this guy is flashing it. I'm like,
he has it, man. Frank, he's a drip king.
He got it. So those were first on the list, period. Because of that, they would win if it was 3-on-5 almost, because of what they'd been through, and they stay in close contact, throughout. So our first love, our first NBA relationships, everyone taking a different route to the NBA, each one unique, and that which makes it so much more meaningful, because every story is incredible. Every story of a person getting the NBA is incredible.
It is. It really is. And it's been awesome to really see his story and when digging or at least investing a little bit more about who Frank Garza is and Luka Garza, it's like, hey, this is a story. And it's a really, really, really cool story. And it's one that I honestly didn't know beforehand. I feel bad because I'm like, he's been such a good person to me. Even when, I wound up finally being able to be in the arena and such. You took a couple pictures with us there with the Pistons. It's just kind of been who you've been this whole entire time. And I never feel nervous. I always feel as if I'm talking to a friend or a family member. I always do. And I hope that other people, no matter where your stops take you, I hope these other fan bases get some type of conception of what the Iowa fans have talked about and what the Piston fans have experienced as well in terms of who you've been and what you continue to be for these communities. It's been awesome. And I heard you talk about baseball. I got my letters here from my high school.
Oh, yeah.
You see got the basketball, got the baseball. Hey,
what position were you with a long? Were you infielder or outfielder?
Right field, outfield. Yep. Led the league. I led my league in steals. I could not hit that well, man. About second half of the season, I caught on, but if I got on base, I was taking at least 2 or 3 of them. And then look, it broke on me, man. I feel so bad. But what matters?
Yeah. Oh, I see it. Oh, my word. Yeah.
Columbia Union. See, look, because I know the DC ties.
Oh,
so look, when you say Luka didn't lose, man, DMV basketball, I love Detroit. I really do. DMV basketball, you talking about Jeremy Grant. You know what I'm saying? You talking about Luka Garza. There's a lot of people who come from that region, man. I played with a lot of people during my time out in the DMV and the pro-ams, the different college players. It was it's a different culture. Let me put it that way, man. From Baltimore to Virginia, it's a different culture.
It's a different culture all the way through, and thank God, because it's like I took the time to raise Luka on DMV basketball. We didn't play out in the suburbs. We went to school at DC for a reason, and we earned our stripes, through that. So I appreciate that, and I'll tell you what, this thing about the fans and this and everything we're talking about, I think it's all about paying it forward and giving it back. Basketball saved my life. It's helped in so many ways, and particularly how to teach Luka life through the medium of basketball, setting goals, working hard. That's an axiomatic formula that you can apply in any area of your life. It's great to learn about basketball because there's people cheering, yay! But if you do it yourself, there's probably only your significant other saying, "Hey, good job!" Dopamine hit, strokes, but at least you can trust the process. It says, "Hey, if I get up a little bit earlier, if I ask the right questions, like one of the questions Luka always asks his coaches, hey, what could I do better?" Just ask it, because no other player is doing that. And when you do that, the coach goes, wow, that kid's different. And that's what you want to be, particularly younger, is get noticed and stand out, be different by how you conduct yourself and the quality of your questions.
Man, that was deep. That was deep. I'm over here taking mental notes. I'm like, oh, I wish I was writing this down, and I realized that I have the recording.
Yeah, I got it. All right.
I'm gonna listen to this like over and over again, like Frank-isms.
Right on. Well, seriously, we're looking forward to really sharing and giving back. I mean, everything that Luke and I, what we did and I taught, I have every lesson plan from every practice from the beginning. So I have all that, and we're gonna put something together with that, and most importantly, we're gonna offer out the knowledge that we learned. And I'll tell you this, Brandon, I'll tell you that one of the things that really differentiates, and for anyone listening out there, is for every minute that you're spending on the outer game, dribbling, lifting weights, whatever it may be, you need to be devoting the same minute on your inner game. Because you only perform in the manner on the outside in a way that's consistent with your inner alignment. I don't care how good the coach is, how hard you work. It's not a working thing. You can't outwork yourself out of it. You have to rethink your way out of it and re-see yourself. So the first shot, as we say, is between the ears.
I like that.
The part that we want to, it's not taught in school. It's not out there. So we want to help get that message out there, because we're already doing it. Anything you think about and perceive in the future, you already have an image about it. You're already foreclosing almost on the outcome, and it hasn't even started.
Frank Garza, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this has been awesome. This has been really, really awesome. I got on here. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll do like 15 to 20 minutes. I had some pretty good questions, and I knew that if we at least prepared for that, we were probably going to definitely talk more than that.
Yeah.
And we have. And what I wanted to do is this. I wanted to ask you about Dove Academy again.
Sure.
And just you all's relationship with Dove Academy, what that's been like, just so people can get a little bit more of, why I want to make sure you're highlighted. You all have exhibited yourselves to be good people.
Yeah.
But even beyond that, you still have connections and things that you're doing here in the city because you feel yourself a part of it. You still feel yourself connected to it. It's not like you chose to leave. You care about the people.
Yeah.
And I thought that was worth sharing with others.
Well, thank you for saying that. I mean, we're not doing it for attention, but every place where we've been, one of the things we want to do is to go in the community and do something. And for me, what helped me, and I still remember the custodian in my middle school, Jim Fancher, who would take the time on Sunday, open up the gym, and we'd sit there and he'd read out of the Bible, and then we'd play ball. So we'd have to listen, but pretty soon some of those wisdoms came through about hard work and love is the answer and all those things. And so it's like, it's just so Luka, for his whole life, we've always taken, no matter where we are, and went out and read to K-6 and above, because we think if we can give the gift of reading, you know what, Brandon, you're never going to be alone.
So it's full circle.
Yeah, full circle. So it just happened to be Dove Academy is close to the Boulevard. During the COVID period, we needed a gym to get into. Dear friends in the community, we met just organically, through Twitter, this and that. This is the whole thing we're talking about. Had a cousin of a friend or whatever that there. So we got in there. They stayed there. They opened up the gym. They stayed the whole 2 hours while we worked out several times, and they just did that of the loveness of the heart. And so we came back in there, read to the kids. We spent a day there, and then Luka just actually finished doing a nice video for them, encouraging them to, best wishes for their testing that just happened last week for their school. And so we're always going to do that. We're always going to be there, and I'm hoping we can figure out a way to bring the Luka Garza Academy there. Just because just you can see how people responded, and I just love that. That's what this is all about.
Definitely. Hey, well, listen, I'm looking forward to it. I got a couple boys that are coming up that I'm trying to train up. Like I said,
all right.
I would love to be able to say, hey guys, I trust Frank. Is right here. The Luka Garza Academy is right here. Let's rock. I love it.
I can't wait. Last camp I couldn't tell which one was the kid between Luka and the kids. He was having so much fun. It's just beautiful.
I like it, man.
Yeah.
Well, Frank, I appreciate this. Like I said, thank you again, not just for your time, but I'm going to continue to say this: the type of people that you, Luka, have shown yourselves to be. It's just been awesome. I've found myself, when the news went down that Luka was no longer going to be with the Detroit Pistons, I found myself kind of like, oh goodness, like I like those people. I like it was just different. It was a little bit different than some of the other ones, in years past, where my connection to the team is just as an observer. Right. But as I got closer to the team, and in the day-to-days and things of that nature, those things make a difference. It is a business, but it seriously makes a difference when people come here to make a connection. And so I applaud you. I encourage you to continue your connection with the city and your support of Detroit. Yes. I can definitely tell you, like, people have passed, like, Nate Burleson, who obviously had a longer tenure here in Detroit, among others. There are people who've made those types of impacts. Even people like Anthony Tolliver, who were here for a blip, but it was about making an impact and a connection with the city. It didn't matter if we were winning or losing. It didn't matter what the prospect was of our season. guys like that just went hard all the time. And I like I said, I'm going to continue to do this and state this for certain players. Devin Booker's on there.
Yeah.
Kyle Kuzma's kind of on there, and now Luka Garza is going to be on that list. Hopefully we get that opportunity to get him back in that Pistons jersey again. But I'm going to continue to look out for his NBA journey, man. It's an encouragement. Young hoopers out there, listen to what Frank is telling you. Go back and look at some of their journey, and as they're putting out more stuff out there, I'm telling you, you want to be plugged into this. The leaps that they made, the questions that they answered, the hurdles that they cleared. If just from a basketball standpoint, listen, it's something else. It's something else. So I commend you. I tip the cap to you, Frank. Give Luka our love from Detroit, definitely from the Woodward Sports and the Woodward Pistons family as well.
Yes.
I'd be remiss if I didn't say hi from all of our team. Rod Beard from the Detroit News, Jeff Iafredi of the Morning Woodward Show, right. Sean Murphy. He's my co-host on the Woodward Pistons Table Talk, and we got a lot of shenanigans on the way. We have some new stuff. We got some stuff. We have some stuff on the way, man, and I'm excited, man. I love Sean to death, and and to the rest of our team as well. It's been a lot of positivity, a lot of growth here. So we have some things in the way, and this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg.
Super. Well, again, thank you for inviting me on. It's been a pleasure. I know, from the first time we met, there was something going to go on, and I see it even in the future. You and Sean, the rest of the crew there, just keep it real like you're doing. And the genuine authenticity you exude is what, draws people to you, like myself. It's just like, yeah, that's real, and
I appreciate you.
That's what people want.
I appreciate you, Frank.
So, all right, Brandon, thanks so much.
Thank you. Hey, listen, you all, thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions or anything you want to say or even well wishes, put them down in the comments. If you're in the live chats for the premiere, definitely put your well wishes there. I'll make sure that I shoot them off to Frank so that he can see them. And and for your well wishes for Luka as well. I was making sure the people were sending these in for you, man. Yeah, but for Luka and his journey too,
I gotta have a little send those in. Well, my time's over, but no. A special thank you to the fans. I mean, what it means to Luka to read those comments on when, particularly when he was let go, plus what he's doing now in Minnesota, what he did in the G League, 47 points leading, 30 points, 12 rebounds. He transformed his game. And watch out for year 3. Year 3 in high school became the best big in DC. Year 3 became player of the year at Iowa. Watch out for NBA. Dad's got some stuff for the summer.
He's cooking. I like that. He's cooking. I like it.
Cooking, baby. All right.
I like it. Look, y'all, I thank you for being here. Like, subscribe. Please share this. And as always, like I said, if you see Frank, give him a hello. He's one of the best. He now has multiple fan bases that are going to prop him up and be behind him in their journey. So thank you again, Frank, for Woodward Sports and for Woodward Pistons. My name is Brandon Dent, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid. And thank you to my guest, Frank Garza. And I'm going to continue, as always, to champion Luka Garza.
Right on.
What you all stand for.
Much appreciated.
Definitely. Till next time, you all.